This cinematic, this trailer, really sets the stage for the Mists of Pandaria expansion, and it echoes a lot of the themes that we're really trying to get across in the story here. So this is about conflict between Horde and Alliance, and it's about exploration and discovery of this new unknown land. You know, we're really trying to go back to some of the Warcraft's roots and classic orcs versus human stuff, you know, going all the way back to the 90s and the original Warcraft RTS games. Open warfare between the Horde and Alliance. So after the events of the Cataclysm, the Horde and Alliance really have just gotten into open conflict. And so two boats, a Horde boat and an Alliance ship, meet in what they think is the open sea, get into a naval battle. Both ships founder, and the crews end up washed up on the shores of a place that wasn't on the charts, wasn't on the maps, didn't even know it existed, they don't know what it is, and they're initially just fighting for survival, trying to understand where they've landed. And so this trailer depicts one of those scenes. You see an orc and a human, kind of prototypical orc versus human Warcraft stuff, being washed ashore and trying to make their own way through the island, encountering each other, immediately getting into combat. And suddenly an unknown third-party interloper comes in, separates the two of them, and attacks both of them. And you see them struggling, trying to defeat this unknown attacker that is revealed to be one of the Pandaren monks. And Pandaren are simply defending their own lands. And really one of the core questions that is asked, I think the way the trailer begins, is, you know, what is worth fighting for? Why do we fight? And the answer, you know, the Pandaren answer is in defense of their homeland and their people and their traditions. And so this is a land that has been unspoiled for thousands of years, and now the Horde and Alliance are coming to their shores with their own conflicts and their own struggles. And that changes the land, it changes, but it also changes the people who have come there. And that is the story that we're telling. Okay, so the Pandaren are, you know, they've been a part of the world of Warcraft and the Warcraft lore for years and years now, going again all the way back to Warcraft 3, where the Pandaren Brewmaster is one of the neutral heroes in that game. And they're one of the races we've wanted to revisit for a really long time. And when we were planning for the Burning Crusade expansion, for example, for a while we seriously considered, and we're going to go with using the Pandaren as one of the new races there. But it ended up that, you know, using the Draenei made more sense for the story we were telling there, so we shelved that idea for the moment. And this was the perfect time to revisit it, though, because we were looking for this theme of exploration and discovery, and that's what we settled on. So the Pandaren, I think, part of what they bring is also they introduce the monk class as part of the Mists of Pandaria. Now, all races other than Goblin and Worgen can play as monks, but the fighting art of the monk really originated with the Pandaren. They were subjugated historically by the Mogu Empire, which ruled the continent of Pandaria thousands of years ago, and denied them the use of weapons. So they developed a hand-to-hand fighting style that was just fierce and effective, and passed that down. And as, you know, the rest of the world has now discovered the island, the continent of Pandaria, that fighting art has begun to spread, and adherents and initiates take up the you know, teachings of the monks, and you see monks beginning to adventure throughout the world of Warcraft.
Come speak with me.
So later, in the very near future, we're going to have the 504 patch coming out to the live servers. And that is pretty much all the data that you need to play Mists of Pandaria once you purchase it in September, but it also has a lot of our systems changes. So for example, the overhauls to classes, talents, and specs, those are immediately going to be available. So when you log in for the first time in 504 in the very near future, you will have the new talents, new skills, and you can immediately start getting accustomed to those changes. You know, we expect players to revisit the existing raid content, go do their Dragon Soul raids, and so forth, getting a feel for a lot of the changes.
Slow down.
Mists of Pandaria is coming out on September 25th.